Hello everyone, welcome to Favorite Sembang Santai episode 30. Today's topic is quite a heavy one, but also incredibly fascinating. AI singularity, when machine becomes smarter than humans. Well, I'm your host Zura Huzali, and with me as always is our favorite IoT man himself, Dr. Mazlan Abbas. Welcome back, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Azura. I think many people always get this nervous when they hear the word singularity lah. So some will imagine that robots is taking over the world, while others think that humans will lose their jobs. So, but today we are going to have a very calm and thoughtful discussion lah.
Alright.
So make it santai and not to scare all of you. So what exactly is singularity and where are we really heading lah? Yeah.
Okay, well, if you follow Hollywood movies, singularity looks like the Terminator moment, but reality might be different. Well, let's start with the most basic question, okay?
Okay.
So, Dr. Mazlan, in simple terms, what does singularity means?
In short, singularity is a point when artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence in every aspect. Your intelligence, our intelligence. So not just in calculation, speed or data memory, but the ability for them to think, for them to create and improve itself without human help. So in this case, you are seeing that it will actually learn by itself.
Okay, so it's like AI becoming new kind of being that can learn on its own.
Yes, when we talk about being, is meaning to say like it's a human being lah, become alive, kan? So in computer science, we call this stage artificial intelligence, general intelligence, AGI. I think a lot of people have heard about generative AI, but the other way around is artificial general intelligence, AGI.
Okay, alright.
So right now we only have narrow AI. When I say narrow AI, it's good in certain tasks, one task alone. So it solve a problem of healthcare, solve a problem of education, agriculture, and so on and so forth. But AGI can do anything that humans can.
Wah, dangerous.
So for us, we learn a lot of things, kan, Zura. So it's not only one task alone. We are doing multiple things. Multitasking. So but the most important part, it can do better. Okay,
alright. So doctor, if AI can start creating smarter AI, that's the moment singularity happens, right?
Yes. What the scientists have predicted that once AI can write its own code, and can generate its own new ideas without even the human input, that's when the uncontrollable leap begins. So futurists like this person called Kay Kurzweil even predicts this could happen as early as 2045. He predict 2045, but I also predict but much more earlier lah, Zura. Hopefully in my lifetime.
Okay, doctor. What are the steps leading us there? I mean, are we already close? Like you said, mungkin cepat
So we are definitely heading that way.
Okay.
Slowly but surely. But there are certain times when you see this breakthrough happen lah. Certain times it jumps very faster than what we have seen before. I think I give an example. Last time there are video generation. We create video, and we can see video is just like AI generated. But nowadays you can't even distinguish the video.
Whether it's real video or AI
whether it's
generated.
AI generated.
So
you just look at this progress of the large language models, the LLM, like GPT-5, multimodal AI. Like I mentioned to you just now, it's not only about creating content like text. It's also video, audio, kan? So these systems already can understand a lot of things. So once it learns the text, images, sound, even video, then once all of these senses combine, so AI starts to perceive and maybe understand the world like humans do.
Okay, and then with humanoid robots with Tesla Optimus lah, Boston Dynamics lah, and Figure AI, we're seeing the physical form of AI too. Yeah, Doctor?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we are seeing. Normally we see this AI in our software, but now this AI brain, so-called the brain, merges into a robotic body. So that's the birth of what we call physical AI.
Okay.
So physical AI means it's no longer a software, but you can see the physically. So once that becomes the norm, the humans will coexist with entities that have their own awareness and capabilities. We have seen, I think, the previous talk that we have about robots, humanoids, robot, Olympics, dia punya sports kan?
Oh yeah,
the world kan?
Yeah,
so they can run like human, they can box like human. So after a while, you see that this is like, you know, a human being instead of just robots alone. So it's more realistic in a sense lah.
Yeah, but it's also sounded like the K-drama that I've just watched recently. It's called Unlock My Boss. Okay, except that this time it's not fiction anymore lah, because it's the same like macam the one robot that you said just now, right? This is the autonomous car that can actually decide on its own. The physical car can decide on its own really.
Decide macam mana tu Zura?
It decides whether it should kalau there's a kid
cross the road.
So whether it should go to the left or right or something like that. So it can actually decide on its own.
Okay.
So dah tak perlu lagi input from us lah.
I've seen a video where robot taxi. So people can request a taxi using a mobile app. So when the taxi arrive, they just open it, the apps, and allows the passenger to go in and then set the destination. Not set destination, you already know the destination, whether it wants to drive or not. And the car can automatically drive in a very busy road. So it's like a driver inside the car, but actually there's no people. But I think the car itself is like a robot.
It's already set up like that.
It's intelligent car lah.
Yes, it is. So I mean, Doctor, from the technology side, what are the major breakthrough pushing us towards singularity, Doctor?
Okay. Well, thank you very much for one of our friend here.
Razman
Ramali.
Thank you.
Razman have been following my posts in Facebook for quite some time now, and very regular that he have posted and comments lah. So I would like to convey my thanks to him for such, you know, supporting my Facebook.
Oh, we appreciate that so much. Thank you, Razman.
So maybe I'd like to know more about you, Razman, maybe about the things that you have been doing, if it's related to technology or IoT or AI and so on and so forth lah. But anyway, today we are talking about AI kan. So when Zura mentioned tadi, what are the major breakthrough? Because singularity doesn't come, you know, instantly. It must come from various technology that comes in and then it merge together. So when a technology, different technology merge together, it becomes very strong. So it's like 1 + 1 is not equal to 2. 1 + 1 can become 3. 3 + 3 can not 6. 3 + 3 can be 9.
Wow.
Something like that. So it's a multitude of impact that's happening. So one of the things that we are seeing now, the technology like AI chips, quantum computing. So we have seen a lot of chips like NVIDIA, Blackwell. We have seen AI accelerators, quantum computers. All of this increase the processing power by thousands of times. So where they can process it faster, the intelligence is like a human lah, can think fast. So it's not a slow processing. Secondly, about the neural network architectures. This is massive models with trillions, you know, trillions of parameters. So capable of generalizing a certain knowledge. So they use neural network architecture. Just like our brain, we have neurons. Yeah. So how these neurons work together.
Alright.
And then there are synthetic data and self-learning. So the best part is that the AI systems can now generate their own training data. What do you mean by training data is that because normally kita buat nak train data, kita kena go out and take samples of data, capture the data. So it takes a long time to generate that data. For example, a person walking. So you have to take samples of person walking. But in this way, AI itself can generate their own training set of data. So they can simulate this how a person walk, this how the person react, this how the person, you know, responds to certain things. So they can generate their own simulation world. You know? So that is another thing, synthetic and self-learning. The third one is the brain computing interfaces. This is what Elon Musk is doing lah. Projects like Neuralink, so that can connect the human brains directly to the machines. I think you have seen, I think last couple of weeks we have MOU kan?
Yes.
MOU with Yes We Can and Siri. So Yes We Can, they in the booth, there's apa?
KJ, ohayo gozaimasu. Minasan, no?
Yeah, ohayo gozaimasu.
Hi.
Hi. So that guy, what happened is that they put a certain
what you call that? Macam cables, bukan cable, sensors.
So he put some macam ECG lah. So ECG for the brain. So tap a few brains and then take samples about 10 seconds of my brain.
How your brain works.
How my brain works, and then I can actually command the things with the blink of eye. I can make things move. Not things move lah. I mean the cursor move from one place to another place.
Yes.
So from there I can control certain things. I double blink, it opens up certain things. So
that was actually quite fascinating.
Fascinating. So
look at that.
So it's people who doesn't have a capable to move around. So they only have their brain to think, and that's how they respond lah. So using the mind. So but that one is non-intrusive. So tak tahulah Neuralink, you have to embed certain things like your brain. So you don't want something to embed in your brain, but it just takes sample of the brain.
Okay.
So another thing is that autonomous robotics and HAI. This is also a new technology breakthrough. So AI that can think and make decisions on the ground. So not only in the cloud. So everything at the edge side. So it's like a knee-jerk reaction, very fast. So you don't have to send anything back to the cloud to process, come back and make response. At that point, you can make the decision.
So no delay.
Camera nowadays have the intelligence inside the camera. Last time camera saja kan, and then they have another box kat luar. Now even the camera itself have that intelligence. So when everything got intelligence in that box, so every box yang kita tengok nanti will have intelligence inside there. So it's very smart lah.
Okay, so it's like each of these technologies is a puzzle pieces, slowly completing itself.
Even technology don't compete, they complete.
Wow. We are actually the same as technology, man.
So when all of these pieces come together, AI will not just become very intelligent lah. It will become self-aware. Ni part self-aware, conscious of its existence and purpose. You know what happens, Zura?
What happened?
When the robot is self-conscious, self-aware about its existence, so you cannot kill the robot. The robot feels being threatened.
Okay, dia tak threaten
So I saw this.
So this robot is my competitor now.
This robot have that. I saw this article saying that they made an experiment lah. There are multiple robots working dekat kilang factory, but there is one robot that comes and talk to all these robots.
Okay.
And says that you are working overtime, too much. You work too work too hard.
Okay.
So you need to take a rest. So all of this robot, after they heard about this from this another robot, it just walk away.
Okay. They listen to this.
So they listen. So it's self-aware, saying that I'm not going to work that hard. So it's defeat the purpose. Like kita buat robot tu to make sure that it works 24/7.
Yes.
But now it's self-aware, saying that I cannot work that hard. I might kill myself.
They can decide for themselves again lah.
So it's about self-aware and about their existence and why they are there. So if you have a robot that give, only follow your instructions, then it doesn't have a purpose. The purpose is only to listen to others. What if the robot will be self-aware, saying that, hey, my purpose is not to make sure this thing is going to die or just only live. Yeah, there must be a purpose. So it's like human lah. Why we live here, kan, in the world? Yes. So we must have a purpose. So that's where the singularity comes in.
I see. And now this is the part that worries most people, Doctor. When AI reaches singularity, what happens to the humans then?
What do you think?
Apa nak jadi?
So there are two schools of thought lah.
Okay.
Depends which one you are lah, Zura. Okay. If I ask you, if one is optimistic, if you're optimistic, you will say that AI will help humanity. Humanity's the biggest problems about the climate change, disease, poverty. It will help how to overcome all of this, kan?
So then that is nice lah.
That is nice lah. Very optimistic, very good things.
Yep.
Okay. Are you that pessimistic type? So when you say that AI will take over everything, you lose control, humans lose control, so you can't do much. You nak buat kerja pun, katalah you have an husband, ni kan Zura, kan, and then you want to take, jaga your husband, but the robot is always take care about your husband instead of you, kan? So you
go ahead, robot. Oh man.
Then your husband just love the robot.
Oh man.
Will not love you. So you just buy LB everything for the robot, not you.
No, robot don't know how to wear LV, so it's okay.
That's the time when the robot, the person love the robot more than the human, and the human lose that control.
Don't be a fool.
Like you think that you don't want to layan your husband and so on so forth. So that's something that you need to think of. When you lose control, what happened?
Okay, dangerous.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, Doctor. How would singularity affect the IoT world? I mean, from favorite points of view lah.
Wow. So our favorite point of view lah. We know that favorite always talk about data, kan? We collect a lot of the data. So we see that IoT will evolve into a super aware network. Super aware means all sensors, the data that comes from the machines and the systems, everything will learn and communicate autonomously. So now you can imagine a city that can make its own decision. Make its own decision. So managing traffic by its own, managing the energy, managing the water optimally, take care of the waste and all that. So a very clean city. So you don't need all these people running around. So it's only the AI that.
Semua pandai dah buat
it takes the role of the human. Is it good?
It can be good. It can be. It could be comforting, but also terrifying.
Terrifying, kan?
Depending lah on who controls the data lah.
Who controls the data, kan? So precisely, I think what we are seeing is that if managed by ethical humans, it's a blessing. But if it falls to the hands of the very greedy, malicious, lazy, it could become a global disaster lah.
The man, okay.
Tak nak layan husband, kan?
Too bad lah. Okay, Doctor, how do we ensure we don't create something that end up destroying us? Macam ni tu. Macam nak ensure?
So it's like you are creating a technology that can destroy us, kan? So you need to be very careful lah. So let me think. Maybe one, three things. So one of these, we have to ensure the AI governance. AI governance. You are talking about global practices, the ethical frameworks. Ethics must be there. If no ethics, you just simply run the AI without any fans, any ethical. You tahu lah, bila tak etik dia nak langgar apa dia nak.
Dia tak responsible lah.
Dia tak responsible. They're very biased and so on and so forth. And making decisions which on their own. So you must have that ethical frameworks. So secondly, you have to ensure the alignment. Alignment means ensuring the AI understands and align to human values. Kita ada human values, right? Kan?
Yes.
Human tak ada values, we are like animal.
Yep. Yep. That's true.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the third one is about transparency. This is very important because AI must be auditable, not a black box. Auditable means if there's something happen, I need to see and look at dia punya how it works. It cannot be something like a black box or you just dump it and let it work lah. So tak boleh. If something happen, is it because of the AI? Is it because of the human? So it must be transparent. And when it makes a decision, I also know how it make the decision lah. It must be transparent. Dia tak boleh sorok-sorok without the data is being made known.
Oh, okay. I mean, Doctor, I love this one quote. Don't teach AI to be human, but teach humans to be wise.
Wow.
Sometimes the problem is actually isn't AI, it's actually us. We are the problem.
Asyad lah you ni quote.
Asyad pernah dengar.
Pernah dengar? Kat mana you pernah dengar quote?
I pun don't know. I don't remember where I see this somewhere.
So exactly, I think the idea is singularity isn't just about technology. Like you said, it's about our humanity. So the human must be there lah. If you just pass everything to technology, then it will drive us crazy. So
yes, not all become robots.
Yeah, we don't want to become a robot. When robots become human, then we become robot.
Don't make it terbalik. It's a terbalik world.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, we would like to thank everyone who's joining us today. Like Khairul Kalbi is also watching us.
Khairul, KJ, Razman.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you guys do have any comments about this topic, perhaps you can just share with us in the comment sections. Okay.
So it's very interesting topic today, Zura. I think we have talked about simple data and what data can do, and then we talk about AI, what AI can help us. But as we go along, we also talk about the topic of robotics.
Yes.
And how AI brain go into the robots become a physical AI. And now we are looking at how AI itself can learn by itself. Because the idea, last time we always push data for the AI to learn something. We always say they need the data. I can give you the data and then you learn. But after a while, we are seeing that this AI will produce their own data. They will look at various probabilities, various scenarios. Dia boleh create different scenario. Kita macam manusia pun cannot create scenarios what will happen. Kan kita boleh like create one or two scenarios. What if I make decision like this? But for them, they can make thousands of scenarios.
There's no plan A, B, C, dia sampai Z.
Ada sampai Z. Kalau ada Z, ada lagi alphabet dia kan go different alphabet. So like us, it's only a few.
Okay. Like A, B, C.
A, B, C. Zura, how many? Give me more ideas. Dah blank dah kan. So tepu. So the moment AI can give various scenarios and give you multitudes of decision, create data by themselves and they learn by themselves. So I think a couple of weeks back we have been trying to discuss a lot of strategies in and we sometimes as human we reach to a certain limit what we can do, what more we can do. So we hope AI like this is able to create that scenarios or give us options. What if I take this and so but if that's the case, for me it's very optimistic.
It is actually good.
So I like that kind of AI who can support us as a human to make decision better lah. Because we are as we grow age, we don't have enough time to think,
loading.
So AI will help us. So but then after a while we are looking at AI if becoming too intelligent, and then you see, this guy cannot think anymore. I can just use the singularity to take his job. Sikit-sikit tanya, I cannot think. Sikit-sikit cannot.
My God. Cannot think.
So we have to change with the AI to help this. So, but then AI doesn't have that. We thought that AI doesn't have that feeling.
Emotions.
That was one of the things where people say, okay, they will not replace our job because humans have emotions.
Yes.
But this is where singularity comes in. Singularity means that after a while, it becomes self-awareness.
They also learn about emotions.
Self-conscious. They know that you are sad. They know you are happy. By that time, when they know everything like this, it become human.
Yep.
So when that happened, what happened to us? So the human no more lah.
Again lah, like I said lah, it become my competitor already.
The civilization, there's no civilization of humans. Civilization of robots.
So doctor, if let's say one day we truly reach singularity, what is your advice to our listeners here, doctor?
Okay. Don't be afraid, but be prepared lah.
Takut lah.
Don't be afraid.
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Okay.
The problem is people don't prepare themselves. So when things are moving, the world is evolving, they keep standing there without
no changes.
No change.
Okay.
So people who must always be prepared what's coming.
Okay.
Just don't be afraid. You have to move. If you're afraid, don't move. You'll die at that spot lah.
Okay.
So if we understand the technology, we can actually shape the future.
All right.
So we know what's the impact, what's coming. So instead of being swallowed by it lah.
Okay. And remember, every change begins with knowledge. Okay. Learn IoT, learn AI. So we're just not spectators, but active players in the future. Right.
So that's why I think Favorite keeps on training the next generation.
Yes.
Through our AI, IoT, and
AIoT
programs.
Yes.
So all of this, we train the new generations. So when the singularity arrives, we won't be the victims, bro.
Okay, yes.
So we'll be the partners in the evolution.
Yay.
Together with this.
Awesome, Dr. Beautifully said, Dr. Mazlan. All right. Well, I guess thank you everyone for tuning in to our favorite Sembang Santai today, episode 30. So don't forget to like, share, and comment your thoughts. Is singularity terrifying or fascinating?
Okay, see you in the next episode and let's build IoT to work together.
Alright, okay guys, till next time, stay curious and stay connected. I'm Zura Huzali and
I'm Mazlan Abbas.
Signing off. Cheers,
Cheers
everyone.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.